Harvey, there you are. Hello. Talk to me. Talk to me, Harvey. Ah,
Forgot that one. No, I forgot that one at the bottom. It's not the one on the picture.
is the elevator work on schedule?
They say it is. I don't know how. They only work half a day. Guys are unreal.
Because I should get a robocall made, right? For
For when?
next week to work or?
Oh, for the next week, yeah, I guess. Yeah, Angie will take care of that.
At one time, I thought it was set up with a week off in between.
No,
No,
they're back to back.
okay.
I think they'll fit. I don't know. It seems like they added another guy yesterday, and I'm not sure. I think they'll be finished by Thursday, personally.
Today's Thursday.
Maybe today they'll be finished. Maybe late today. I don't know. We'll see. According to people who've been asking them, everyone who goes by sees someone who goes, "Oh, are you guys going to finish on when you're supposed to?" What are they going to say? No, we're not. So I sit there quietly, and all they do is say, "Yeah, we'll be finished by Friday." Late. When they go home, they'll be finished. No, they'll finish. They'll finish Friday. Guy in your building, I don't know. Lucky he's moving out or something, or he's moving in, something like that. I don't know who it is. I forgot who it was.
From my building?
I don't know. He had to redo his.
Yeah, Selwyn Carp.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Tall, thin guy.
Yeah, he was going to move his moving date, or
Yeah. I think he might have left. I don't know.
oh, that was quick.
I don't know for sure.
Who is that? Oh, that's Larry Fish.
Oh, and then I sent you a note late last night. I knew you wouldn't see it last night, but I went out to look at the lighting,
No, lucky you.
and I don't like the light itself. It's like an old-fashioned look.
I know. That's the one they put up. It's just to see what it would look like. So we'll see.
Okay. And the fact that he uses these bulbs when it's lit, you don't see that filament, that orange filament.
When it's lit, yeah, which is the filament? The inside of the bulb?
Inside the bulb, yeah. He loves that. When we were doing the sukkah, he wanted to use that. He said it's mood lighting. It's perfect for the mood. I said we don't need a mood lighting for, but I don't see any. When it's not lit, you see that orange filaments inside of it. But when it's lit, it's just so bright you don't see anything from it.
I know, and that's only 60 watts.
Yeah, Marty Moskowitz met with, I don't know whether here or on the phone, I don't remember, with a guy from another company that had some stuff to show us.
Morning.
Good morning.
What's the name of the company? Any idea?
Yeah, lighting of tomorrow or something.
Oh, we got that one already. Yeah, we had them. That was in the folder.
I have some paper from them.
Yeah, that was the folder you gave me.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
And Marty had a very good idea. They had, you could buy there was selling it with the LED built right in.
I
But then
know.
if it ever failed, Marty had a good idea. He says, can we get it with the bulb? Well, we just have to replace the bulb, not the whole fixture. And they said, yeah. So I don't know whether he stayed in touch with them or what, but they have a lot of better looking stuff.
LED comes two ways. You have to replace integrated the fixture or just the bulb.
Yeah.
So,
And when the integrated one, if it fails, they have to replace the whole fixture. Whereas the other
Right.
ways, the bulb.
right. So in other words, where you are located, you'd have to put up the whole fixture if you didn't want the light.
They save us electricity.
All right.
Okay, here's Rabbi Green. There we are.
Okay, I'm hanging up. I'll go silent.
Rabbi is muted.
Now you hear me, right?
That's better. Yep.
Okay, good. All right, so we'll get started. All right, on Samech Tet, I would say we're about almost halfway down the Amud, right? Okay. Had to switch equipment this morning. Sorry about the delay. Okay. Now, our new section in the Gemara. Remember, we talked about the various arguments between discussion of Yochanan Reish Lakish was one view that was different from by Rav and Shmuel. And then we saw there was an argument with Munbaz and Rabbi Akiva. Okay, so we've sort of finished that discussion for the most part. Okay, and now we are starting, as I said, middle of Samech Tet. It's about 19 lines down. Okay, it's none. Okay, our utat Braita. Avot melachot arba'im chaser achat. Okay, that we say the primary categories of work are 40 minus 1, which we know to be 39. V'havinenba, and when this was raised, we discussed as follows. Minyana lamali, why was it necessary in that other Mishnah or Braita to list the number and then follow it up by an actual list of the various malachas? Wouldn't it have been sufficient to leave out the number and simply just list the malachas directly? That's the implication of the Gemara's discussion now. Va'amar Rabbi Yochanan, she'ima sa'an kulan be'elem echad, says Rabbi Yochanan, if the person had committed all of them or a number of them, okay, with one single act of unawareness, right? Chayav al kol echad ve'echad. One would be obligated to bring a chatas on each one. Hechi mishkachet la, asks the Gemara. How is that possible? Under what circumstances would you say that we would find this? Okay, the Gemara continues, right? Bezadon Shabbat b'shigigat melachot. Okay, in a situation where the person wittingly, okay, or if we want to say it consciously, okay, acted against Shabbat, but unwittingly in terms of the various categories of work. So the Gemara picks up Bishlema, that seems understandable or reasonable, okay? The Rabbi Yochanan, to the view of Rabbi Yochanan, the Amar Kevan Sheshagag Bekaret, okay? who says that in that situation, if he's ignorant in respect to the punishment of karet, af al pi shehizid belav, even though he committed a purposeful or conscious act of transgression in regards to a negative prohibition, mishkachet la kegon diyada la l'shabbat belav. Okay, then it's conceivable, we'll say, that maybe he knew that that particular kind of work was forbidden on Shabbat by the negative prohibition. Ela Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, but in regards to Reish Lakish, the Amar ad sheyishgog belav ubekaret, okay, who said that basically he's not unaware, okay, or he's not over on the transgression unless he's aware of both the negative prohibition and aware of what the punishment of karet is regarding it, diadale leShabbat, that he knows then that these both apply. Okay, what about that? Didn't he know anything about Shabbat? The essence of Shabbat is the challenge. Diada betchumim va'aliba de Rabbi Akiva. No, the only thing he's aware of in regards to Shabbat is that there are these boundaries. And this is according to the view of Rabbi Akiva, right? And Rabbi Akiva maintains that the limit knowledge of the boundaries, tchumim, is the oraita, whereas the rabbis say it's the rabbanan. So the Gemara now asks the following: Man Tana laha? Okay, who's the Tana? Who's the rabbi? Okay, that the authority is following in this case? The Tanu Rabbanan, where the rabbis taught Shagag bazeh ubazeh, that if one made a mistaken or an unwitting act, both in this and in this, in other words, both in regards to Shabbat, the concept of Shabbat, and in regards to the categories of work, Zehu Shogeg Ha'amur B'Torah. This is what we mean when we say that it is unwitting, let's say, act of transgression that's referred to in the Torah. Hezid bazeh ubazeh. And then when the rabbi said that they willingly committed a transgression, both in regards to Shabbat itself and in regards to the malachot, the labors themselves, zohi mazid ha'amur b'Torah. That's what's meant when it's said a clear, direct, if you will, prohibition, transgression. Okay, that's referred to in the Torah. Shagag b'Shabbat, v'hezid b'melachot. What about the situation if one made an unwitting awareness, okay, in regards to the essence of Shabbat, but a clear, direct transgression regarding the labors? Oh, sheshagag b'melachot v'hezid b'Shabbat, or that he made a unwilling transgression in regards to the labors, but a purposeful transgression in regards to the essence of Shabbat. Oh, she'amar yodea ani she'malacha zo asura, or he says, I'm aware, I know that this particular kind of category of work is forbidden. Aval eini yodea shechayavin aleha korban, or that I don't know that the punishment, okay, the obligation for having performed it is to be punished, required to be bringing a korban chatat, olo chayav, olo or not, chayav, okay? He is still obligated. Keman, according to who is that? Kemunbaz. That's according to the view of Munbaz. Now, the Gemara picks up, all right, with the following. Amar Abaye, says Abaye, okay? Hakol modim b'shvuat bitui she'ein chayavin aleha korban ad sheyishgog b'lav shabbat. Okay? What he's saying here, Abaye, is he making a comparison, okay? That in regards to a statement, an oath, okay, and that the person makes an oath, okay, within a statement, that he does not become obligated to bring a korban, okay, unless it is a vow, an oath that was, excuse me, said unwittingly regarding the prohibition. That's there. Hakol modim man, everybody is in agreement. According to whom? Rabbi Yochanan. According to Rabbi Yochanan. Pshita, that's obvious. Ki ka'amar Rabbi Yochanan. Because when Rabbi Yochanan said this, heicha de'ika karet. Because there we have already acknowledged that the punishment of karet is applicable when it is a mazid act of al-hacha. Okay, but here, in our case of Shabbat, deleka karet, where according to Mumbaz, it's not karet, lo, that's not the case. So the Gemara then raises the following. Salka da'atcha amina, one might have thought to say, ho'il v'chayav korban, maybe it's such a situation where one might have been obligated to bring a korban, chidushu, that this is entirely a whole new concept, a whole new idea in regards, right? The bechol haTorah kula lo ishkachan lav the maite alei karban, because throughout the entire Torah, we don't find a situation where a person is simply required to bring a korban based simply on transgressing a lav. Normally, we only find the requirement to bring the korban for a shogeg when we have the mazid punishment being covered. V'hachamaite, and here he has to bring it. Okay. Now, ki shagag b'korban. So therefore, we must say that that implies that his unwitting error, his lack of knowledge, applies to what the punishment would be, namely the korban. Nami lechaye. So here too, we might think he would be obligated, okay, in that situation. Kamash Malan comes to teach us that that's not the case. Now, as we go over to the top of Samech Tet, remember we've said so far that the possibility is the person is not aware, A, that it's Shabbat, B, they may not be aware of what the labors are, C, they may not be aware of what the punishment is for the particular labor. So the implication seems to be so far from the Gemara that it could very well be that in any one of those three examples where the person is not aware, okay, or does the act in lack of awareness, as the Gemara says, generally, okay, that the end result is going to be different, as implied by the attempt to explain our original Mishnah. we're now back on the top. We're on the top now of Samach Tet Amud Beis. Meitive. We raise a challenge with the following Braita. Ezehu shegegat vuat bitui l'she'avar. Okay, but Abai, remember, raised the question, okay, of a unwitting oath in a statement refers to the past, right? Okay. At what point? She'im amar yodea ani sheshvua zo asura, that if the person says, I know this oath is forbidden, aval eni yodea im chayavin eleha korban olo, but I don't know whether in saying it I'm obligated to bring a offering, a korban or not. Chayav. Okay, we still say he is obligated. Hamani, who is that view? Munbaz. That seems then to be the view of Munbaz. Now, Gemara is going to tell us this whole discussion in regarding to Munbaz is also brought in another version. Lishna Achrina, in another version. Mani, according to who is it? Ilema Munbaz. If we say it's in the view of Munbaz, Pshita, that seems obvious. Hashta, B'chol HaTorah, why here? Because throughout the Torah, the Lav Chidushu, okay, that this is not a unique situation. Amar, where it says, Shigigat Korban, Shma Shigaga, okay, that in a situation where, okay, that if one is liable to bring a sacrifice, it's not considered to be a unwitting act. Hacha the chidushu, but here, where it may be a unique, an anomaly, a unique act, something different, lo kol shekain, couldn't we say all the more so that it's unique? Ele lav rabbananhi. No, we say that certainly must it not be the view of the rabbis, but tiyuvta the abai tiyuvta, and therefore this then is a proof text against what Abai was saying. Indeed, it's a proof text against him. Now, we come back to a new statement. V'amar Abai, and Abai now says, Hakol modim betruma, she'ein chayavin aleh chomesh ad sheyishgog belav shaba. Everyone is in agreement in regarding the truma, that one is not chayav, one is not obligated to bring or to pay the additional 1/5, let's call it tax or penalty on it, unless one is unaware, okay, of the prohibition, okay? So the Gemara asks, Hakol modim man, everybody is in agreement, according to whom? Rabbi Yochanan, Pshita. It's Rabbi Yochanan, and that's obvious, says the Gemara. Ki amar Rabbi Yochanan, for Rabbi Yochanan said, Heicha de'ika karet. He says that's where there is, okay, a penalty of karet. Heicha deleka karet lo. But where there is no punishment, we remember for the amazid of karet, then there is no korban chatat for the shogeg. Mahu detema, what are you then trying to tell us here? Okay, or what might you say? Mita b'mekom karet omedet. That maybe we would say that death stands in the place of karet in this situation. Okay, that if the non-Kohen eats truma, okay, he is aware that he would die, but he wasn't aware specifically that that is the definition, let's say, of karet. Okay, v'chishagag b'mita. Okay, and if he is unaware, if he unwittingly, okay, ignorant, let's say, of the penalty of death, nami lechayev, he would still nevertheless be guilty. Kamash malan comes to teach us that that's not the case. Okay, Rabba Amar, says Rabba, mita b'makom karet omedet, that the death penalty does stand in the place of karet. The chomesh b'makom korban kai, and the, call it penalty or tax, right, of adding a fifth stands in place of having to bring the sacrifice there. Okay, going on. We're now going to come up with a slightly new situation, okay, that tells me, okay, how is it possible for a person, let's say, not to know about Shabbat or not to know what day is Shabbat? Okay? And so that's where the Gemara is going to tell us on this concern about if we said the first level of knowledge is not knowing the essence of the law of Shabbat. Okay? Amar Rav Huna, says Rav Huna, Hayam mahalech b'derech o b'midbar. Okay, one was traveling on the road or in the wilderness, right? Ve'eno yodea ematai Shabbat, and he doesn't know when the Shabbat occurs. What does he do? Moneh shisha yamim, he counts 6 days, umeshamer yom echad, and then he observes 1 day. So that's Rav Huna. Chia bar Rav gives him a different suggestion. Okay? What does he say? Omer mishamer yom echad, that he observes 1 day, umoneh shisha, and then he counts 6 weekdays. B'mai kif meflageh, what are they arguing about? Mar savar kibriato shel olam. One says, one master, that you follow the pattern of how the world was created. Namely, we have weekdays first, okay, followed by Shabbat. Mar savar ki adam harishon. And the other master, however, holds that you follow the pattern exemplified by the first man, okay? Namely, that after man was created on the Friday, therefore the first occasion was Shabbat. And then afterwards he would have the various weekdays. Meitive, a challenge in a Braita is raised. Hayam mahalech b'derech ve'eno yodea imatai Shabbat. Someone was traveling on the road and doesn't know when the Shabbat. Okay, what must he do? Meshamer yom echad l'shisha. He must observe 1 day for 6. Mai, what do we mean by that? Okay, lav moneh shisha umeshamer yom echad. Does it not mean that he counts 6 days and then observe 1? Okay. No, says the Gemara, or this bright. Mishamer yom echad umoneh shisha. He counts 1 day, in other words, he observes 1 day and then counts the 6. Okay. Ihachi, if that's the case, says the Gemara, Mishamer yom echad l'shisha. Okay, it should really have said he observes 1 day and right, and then for the 6th, Mishamer yom echad, namely he observes one day, umoneh shisha mebayele, and then observes the 6 is how it should have been phrased. Va'od Tanya, and furthermore, okay, we could also cite another Braita. Hayam mahalech b'derech, he was traveling on the road, o b'midbar, or in the wilderness, ve'eno yodea ematai Shabbat, and he doesn't know when Shabbat is occurring. Moneh shisha u'mishamer yom echad, he counts 6 and observes one day. Tiyufta, the Rabbi Chia bar Rav Tiyufta. And therefore this Braita is a proof text against Rabbi Chia bar Rav, and indeed it's a proof text against him. Okay, we continue now. As we recite the next piece in the Gemara, we're going to assume that they're still talking about the person traveling in the desert or on the road. Okay? Amar Rava, says Rava, Bechol yom v'yom oselo kadei parnasato. Each day he can do enough work, okay, to suffice his needs, all right, or requirements for that day. Bar mehahu yoma, okay, with the exception of that particular day, okay? We're assuming he's referring to the day that he's observing as Shabbat. Vahahu yoma limut, asks the Gemara, and on that day he's expected to die. Da'avid me'etmol shtei parnasot. No, says the Gemara, on the previous day, he should do twice as much as what he would normally need. The Dilma, me'etmol Shabbat have, asks the Gemara. But perhaps that previous day was actually the Shabbat. Ela, kol yom v'yom, oselo parnasato. Every day he should do sufficient amount of work for his requirements, for his needs. Afilu hahu yoma, even on that day. Bahahu yoma, b'mayin in karle. Okay, and how then should he recognize whether that day is Shabbat? B'kidusha v'avdalta. Okay, he does so by making Kiddush and Havdalah. Okay?
But he works all 7 days.
Well, theoretically, that's going to be the problem. Would he have to do it all 7 days? Or is there a different way of his counting? And so we're going to see now that the Gemara is not happy with that statement,
Me too.
okay, of Rava. So he continues. Amar Rava, okay? Rava further clarifies. Im hayam makir miktsat hayom sheyatzabo. Let's say that he recognized on what day he actually had departed. Okay? Right? And the Gemara is going to make the following suggestion in a moment. Certainly he wouldn't depart on Shabbat, number one. Number two, generally one doesn't depart on Fridays, at least in their time. Okay? Except there could be an exception that the Gemara is going to bring us shortly. Okay? So let's see what he's saying. Im haya, right? Haya makir miktsat hayom sheyatzabo. If he recognized, okay, the relationship, let's say, to the day he departed, right? Osem malacha kol hayom kulo. He may do work for that entire day. In other words, since he knows he didn't leave on Shabbat, that day had to be a weekday. And so if he counts 8 days, okay, from the day he departed, he should be able to figure out which day is Shabbat. Okay? Pshita, Isn't that obvious? Says the Gemara, Mahu Datema. You might therefore want to say, Kevan de Shabbat lo nafik, since on Shabbat he didn't set out, but Ma'ale Shabta nami lo nafik, and on the Erev Shabbat also he wouldn't go out, right? Therefore, Vahai, okay, and therefore in this case, this person, right? Nami, inami, b'chamsha b'shabta nafik. Okay, therefore it's possible that he set out on Thursday. Okay, and therefore, lishtare le leme abad melacha treyame. That's why he would be permitted then on that day to do twice as much work, and so therefore he would be able to have something for Shabbat. Kamash Malan, however, the Gemara does not seem to agree with that total line of thinking. Comes to teach us, however, okay, Zimnin the Mishkach Shirata or Shairata Umakre Venafik. It is, however, possible, okay, that on Friday he could have come across some sort of caravan, and therefore it's possible that he could have traveled left on Friday as well. And because of that possibility, that's why he has to do twice the work 2 days before. Okay. Now, we go to another piece from our Mishnah. Remember, the Mishnah raised the question of whether the person of our 3 stages of lack of knowledge, essence of Shabbat again, the categories of labor, the punishment for the categories. The first was if he was not aware of the essence of Shabbat, the law of Shabbat. Hayodea ikar Shabbat, says the Gemara. How, on what basis can we assume that a person would know the essence of Shabbat, and, as we saw early in the Gemara, could only be held accountable if he forgot and then did certain malachas? Minahani mili, what would be the perhaps biblical basis for this? Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rabba bar Abuha. Trei krai ktive. There are 2 verses, he says, that are written, right? One verse, Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, that the children of Israel, the Jewish people, observe the Sabbath. Uktiv, and elsewhere it's also written, Ve'et Shabtotai Tishmaru, that you shall keep my Sabbaths. Notice in one pasuk, it refers to Shabbat in the singular. In the other pasuk, it refers to Shabbat in the plural. Okay? Now, ha-ketzad, how do we explain this? Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, that says, since it refers to Shabbat in the singular, Shmira achat l'Shabbatot harbe. Okay? One observance for many Shabbatot. Okay? That is the case, right? For all Shabbatot, one observance. Okay? Ve'et Shabtotai tishmaru, and the second pasuk, keep my Sabbaths, in the plural, right? Shmira achat v'chol Shabbat v'Shabbat, implies one observance for each and every individual Shabbat. That's his view. Mat kifla, this was challenged, however, by a Braita, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Adrab, he says just the opposite. Ipcha mistabra, the opposite seems to be understandable. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, the fact that it said they would observe one Shabbat just in the singular, Shmira achat l'chol Shabbat v'Shabbat. That should imply one observance for each separate Shabbat. Ve'et Shabtotai tishmoru, and that there it's phrased in the plural. Shmira achat l'Shabbatot harbeh. That implies one observance for many Shabbatot. Okay? It says that, implying that the Mishnah follows from these texts, okay, in that we're saying that's why, if you could argue that you transgress, right, the concept of Shabbat, you're only, again, going to be punishable by bringing one transgression, and therefore one chatat, if unwillingly. If, however, it was multiple labors, okay, you would be transgressing, that would be multiple chataot, sin offerings. Okay? Gemara is going to pick up, all right? Tomorrow we'll continue, okay, the last line on the Amud, and then we'll go into Ayin, which wants to clarify, okay, again, this difference of knowing the essence of Shabbat or the law of Shabbat or not. Okay? We'll stop right there and wish everybody stay well, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hashikoa, thank you very much.
Great.